Vincent Wong is one of the UK's most respected and recognised property entrepreneurs and an internationally recognised public speaker. He is the author of Property Entrepreneur and the co-author of The Wealth Dragon Way.
I believe in being the best version of yourself, whether it is in health, wealth, relationship, or spirituality. And I believe that how you do anything is how you do everything.
After gaining his MBA in 1997, Vince began his property business by helping countless property owners and investors structure win-win deals.
Business is like a work of art. There is no science to it, there's no right and there's no wrong answers. You have to build it, you have to work with it, and you have to fail many times. You have to keep getting better, and you have to find solutions.
At the height of the financial crisis, Vince pioneered groundbreaking financing strategies in the UK, Malaysia, and the Netherlands. He is credited as the father of lease options in these countries for structuring property deals without the need for traditional mortgage financing and deposits.
It's about building something that will add value to people, and you can change people's lives and transform people's lives. It's not so much what you do, it's the person you need to be in order for you to become successful.
In 2009, Vince founded Wealth Dragons with his business partner, John Lee. Their vision has always been to make self-education available to all, and they aim to become the first billion-dollar company in the self-development industry.
You just need to look inwardly at yourself to really find out what are the elements of power that have been lying within you that are waiting to be unleashed.
In 2019, Wealth Dragons Group plc made history by becoming the first UK company in the industry to be listed on a stock exchange. Vince is currently building a technology platform that will fundamentally change the way properties are bought and sold throughout the world. He is passionate about sharing the knowledge he has gained from a business career spanning 20 years. And his message is that you can structure property deals that grow your property business while helping sellers at the same time. That's why it's win-win.
It's a continuous journey. You're never truly there, and that keeps you alive, and that's why we're in business, and that's why we're entrepreneurs.
Hello everyone, I'm Gabriela Dragomir, founder and CEO of Brainstorm Strategy, and today I'm very grateful to have with me Vincent Wong, CEO and co-founder of Wealth Dragons. Welcome Vincent to our talk show Top Minds.
Thank you for having me, Gabriela.
Vincent, you had Wealth Dragons over 10 years?
Yes.
This is your first.
Just over about 11 years.
Yeah.
Coming
this
to
is your first love with this this journey, entrepreneurial journey, or you have another background?
Well, my entrepreneurship actually started about 20 years ago. So Wealth Dragons is among one of the businesses that I'm most passionate about. In fact, my background was. I graduated as a pharmacist, and my parents wanted me to have a career as a professional, and give back to the community. And I, to be honest, that was not something I really wanted to do. So I decided to do something else, but I didn't know what else to do. So I went to business school to study for an MBA. Sold my car, got a bank loan to study for an MBA, which was a very prestigious degree, and I believe that more qualifications were going to serve me well. And in fact, what happened was, after my degree, I couldn't even get the simplest job because there were too many MBAs around. They told me that I was overqualified and underexperienced. So, so in the end, I just decided to create opportunities for myself, and that's pretty much what business is about, is finding opportunities. So I decided to start a business, which I had very little knowledge of, you might think that an MBA graduate would know all about business,
Yes.
but that's not true at all. You know, what you learn from school and doing in reality. So I started doing a lot of things. I started off buying and selling a lot of things, you know, getting involved in all these MLM schemes, multi-level marketing. My bedroom is like a warehouse. But none of those things that I did really took off until I found a calling in property investing in sort of 2003, 2002, 2003. That's when I started investing in property. And that's also coinciding with the UK property market sort of booming. And so I started buying a lot of properties. I was financing quite easily and building a good portfolio for myself until 2008 was the recession. And pretty much overnight, my property business kind of stopped and banks were not lending. So I had to find other ways of continuing to invest in property without relying on bank finance. And hence, I pioneered a technique called lease options, which I'm pretty much known for today, that will allow people to invest in property without using any mortgage finance or deposit.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found, that's also the time when I met my business partner, John Lee. And we found that a lot of people wanted to learn from us. And so we started our first workshop in early 2009, teaching people how to invest in property using lease options. And our workshop was full. And then we realized that was probably the worst time for business startups, because in recessions, you know, businesses were closing. And that's when we found an opportunity to build a new business. And so we started running more and more workshops, and the workshop became a seminar. A seminar became a big event. We went from, you know, 20 people in a room to 2,000 people in a big venue. So that's how we grew. In fact, we struggled through and thrived through recession since 2008. And that's where we are today. Now we're seeing another crisis.
Yeah,
But
yes.
I truly believe that every crisis situation presents its own opportunities.
Vincent, in this time, you meet the success. How you define personally your success, business success in generally? Because
Business
you
success.
are business successful.
Well, I was discussing this not long ago with somebody who said something quite interesting. Apparently, Oprah Winfrey, we all know that she's an icon.
Yeah.
And I think she was asked the question, so Oprah, how successful do you think you are on a scale of 1 to 10? And I think for most people, look at Oprah would think that she's like right at the top of the scale.
Yes.
But I think she said 3. So I guess when it comes to the definition of success, it's a very relative term. What defines success? Business success, obviously, for a business owner, you want to have, you know, good revenue and profits, and you want to add value to the community. And we have to define success on our own terms. So for me, as much as I would say I've found relative success compared to where I was perhaps 20 years ago, or people who went to school with me, you know, and now I see that they're still working in a job, and I've founded, you know, several businesses. I still feel that I've a long way to go. And I guess this is what keeps us going in entrepreneurship, is that it's never a pinnacle of success. It's a constant feeling of having to thrive to be better. Because the moment you feel that you have reached the top, that's when you get overtaken by other people. And that's how a lot of companies are winding up. You know, we see great companies, Woolworths, you know, Thomas Cook and Blockbusters have gone bust, and scores of other companies, they become complacent because they think, oh, we're it, you know, we don't need to evolve any further. And I guess for that reason, I think success means having the appetite to continue thriving for greatness, to be better all the time and never be satisfied. And I guess that's my answer to you.
In my point of view, every business meets lots of issues in them way. Tell me about your business issues, because I'm sure you meet a lot, especially in this kind of model of business.
Okay, well let me replace the word business. When people think about business, they think glamour, you know, well, success
Yes.
and rose. I will replace the word with issues. The
Okay.
very word issue. Business means issues. A good business is the ability to overcome these issues to continue serving your customers. You asked me, do I have issues? In fact, there are more issues on a day-to-day basis than no issues. So problems and issues are kind of expected on a daily basis, from the macro environment to the very tiny details, people hounding you for answers all the time. And business is an environment of problems, and we're in the business of problem solving. So, but if you ask me what I think are the biggest problems faced by our business, it will be the same as everyone else, is adequately financing your company, you know, cash flow issues, making sure that we get the sales, because in business, there's no certainty of anything, right? The only certainty for business is that you have to pay your employees, your staff, your office, your office rates and taxes, and these are dead certainties.
Your bills.
But what,
Your bills,
bills,
sure.
right? But what is not certain is the income, the sales, because sales could dip. Right now, during the COVID-19 lockdown, we have zero sales because people are not buying offline. But we found an opportunity that people are spending more online. So these are the things that we have to constantly monitor every single day. The changes in the environment, the competitors that burst onto the scene, customer complaints. So there are plenty. For Wealth Dragons as an event organizer over the years, I think the biggest problem would be people not turning up. You know, when we run a big event in central London expecting 1,000 people, but there was a tube strike, or maybe a bomb went off, and only 300 people turn up. So these are the things that are constant, and I think that they are faced by all companies all around the world.
In my entrepreneurial journey over 15 years, I learned lots of lessons. What was yours? If you can't name 3, 4, 5 lessons.
Okay. All right. Where do I start? This is
if you have question. More than 5, please share with us.
Okay. Let's start from running a business, running a company. I think the first one would be don't try to do everything yourself. I think if you are the best person in your company, you've got a problem coming. Yeah. You as a business owner, don't confuse between owning a business and being the person in the business. Because if you have to do everything, and you have to create your own website, you have to do your own marketing, you have to do your own selling and a customer service, you cannot scale that business. So I think at a very early stage, I definitely think that you should be able to find talents, people who are smarter than you, people who are much better than you, and nurture those people to be part of your team. That's the first thing. And the second thing would be really look after your customers, because your customers are the ones who are more likely to buy from you again and again. They bought from you because they trusted you. And I think a lot of people try to find new leads, new opportunities, and reach new markets without looking after what they've got already, the existing customer base. I think, you know, really wine and dine your customers, really get to know them and find out what they're not happy about. And they're more likely to do more business with you. They'll shout about your business. Number 3, don't spend money until you're ready to spend money. Now, when I say spend money, don't confuse that with investing your money in a business. I a lot of people who found some success, they got some cash coming into the company, they start buying expensive Italian furniture, they start going on trips and and splash out. Watch your pennies, really watch your pennies, your cash flow like a hawk, and know your numbers. And the problem with a lot of business owners is that most of them actually don't have any finance background. Even they think they have finance sort of knowledge. It's never good enough for you to make decisions based on the numbers. And that's why, as much as possible, if you're growing a business, get yourself a finance director. A good finance director is someone with a lot of experience in the industry. That person might be one of the most expensive employees in your company,
but
it's worth every penny. Worth every penny. For example, in our company, you know that me and John, we are international speakers. We go on stage, we're the stars, we're flamboyant, and we try not to be boring. That's the last thing we want. But with a finance director, you want someone who's really boring, who's really grey, who has no emotions. He's not or she not going to buy into your parade, but look at figures and numbers and use the numbers to make the right decisions. So for example, if you want to start a new project, then the finance director will look at your past performances to give an indication of whether your next project is going to be successful. Because entrepreneurs, put it this way, we're all optimistic,
yes,
flamboyant people. We think that everything is possible. Of course, we do. But sometimes let the numbers do the talking. And that's why having a good finance person is important. Number 4, definitely learn from your mistakes. I think the biggest mistake, I think it's the biggest sin for people, is that they make the same mistake over and over and over again and expect different results. And we know that Einstein actually called it insanity, but we all do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we all do it, even at our level, having been in business for so many years, we still kind of stay within our comfort zone sometimes. Even we teach people about getting out of a comfort zone, on stage, but within our cocoon, within our business, we all have a comfort zone, and we're more likely to try something and it doesn't work, and we try again and it doesn't work, but we keep doing it, hoping that it'll get better. We might think that we're being persistent, but Gabriela, I would say that is not persistent, that's being stubborn. There's a big difference between being stubborn and being persistent. Being stubborn means you do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Even all evidence in the world points to the fact that what you're doing is not working, but you keep doing it. But being persistent means I have the flexibility to make changes while keeping my eye on the ball, which is the ultimate goal, and without giving up. So don't be stubborn and be persistent. And number 5, and I'll give one final one, is to make sure that your company, your business is well financed. There's no way any company that has the aspiration to grow can do so with your own revenue, with your own working capital. When you start out a business, you do sales, and the money that comes in needs to finance your internal operations, your expenses. But to grow a company, you need an external investor or more than one investor to bring in fresh money. Give a slice of your business to someone who will finance it, because when you have 100% of nothing, it's still nothing. Yeah. But you've got 30 or 40% of a bigger pie. That 30 or 40% is still worth a lot more than 100% of nothing. So I guess these are the things that I've learned over the years.
Many people, many entrepreneurs, they are scared to share with other investors, and this is why, in my point, their business don't scale up and don't have success, because keep everything for them and don't find solution beyond this ego to keep everything for them. Vincent, what helped you to get where you are today? And what kind of steps did you take it to be here?
Um, well, I don't think my journey has been a series of steps that I mapped out and followed. Is pretty much like in fact, we started not even having a plan. We're just rolling with it to see where it would take us, and along the journey, we kind of knew where we wanted to be. We wanted to have a successful business that is on the stock market with a lot of growth. But when me and John started out Well of Dragons 11 years ago, we really didn't have a clue. We kind of decided to do something and we just did it. And more times than not, we failed. We fell flat on our faces. And then what happened was that we learned very quickly. And I think the important thing is that if you failed and you embrace it and you learn from it, you try not to make the same mistake again. The next time you try again, you get better. So that is the quality that I guess we've brought to our organization, is that we're quick learners. It's a bit like, if you're in a boxing match, you get punched in the face a few times and it hurts, you're going to move a lot quicker, right? You try to avoid mistakes. And I think the important thing was that while we're running events since 2008, 2009, up till about 4 years ago, that there was a monumental change that we decided to implement, was the fact that we realized our business cannot continue running seminars and events because there's absolutely no way that we could grow our company by being physically present as speakers of those events. And it's not really a scalable business. Mm-hmm. And we also recognize that the world is changing, to an extent that people are accessing their life through, one of these mobile phones. They're accessing information and knowledge through online devices. And you have the social media and LinkedIn and Facebook, YouTube, and all the rest of them. So we recognize that our business had to change. We cannot be a seminar business. And hence 4 years ago, we decided to create an online platform so that we could actually take our business from offline to online. And at the time, we were struggling quite a bit with the cash flow, because it's getting harder and harder to generate cash from events and seminars. And so we realized that the only way we could grow is to raise money. And that's the time when we really realized all entrepreneurs who wish to grow their businesses have to raise finance, right? Could we personally finance our company ourselves? Yes, but more importantly, the money, your own money, you pay tax on it, right? So it really doesn't make sense for an entrepreneur to invest his own money into a venture for which you have to pay tax again. So it is much more leverage to raise money from our investors. Even Richard Branson, Elon Musk, everybody raises finance through a investment community. And so that's when we had the aspiration to become a publicly listed company. There's a big difference between a private and a public company, and the transition is a very hard and arduous journey. For being a public company, why do we decide to go IPO is because we wanted to be transparent. Because a public company has to be transparent with everything, with the finances, every single thing that we do has to be 100% transparent and independently verified by regulated bodies and FCA regulated bodies. If I said to you, I own 500 properties, they will actually verify that to give evidence before we're allowed to give a statement of this kind. And so we decided that this is a standard we want to raise, because a lot of people wanted to keep everything in-house and behind smoke, smoke and mirrors, right? They don't want the world to know. But the moment that you open up everything, good or bad, even screw ups you've had in the past, you make it known to the world, that makes your company more investable. And that's the reason why we managed to raise millions of pounds to allow us to create an online platform, which actually serves us well today during this epidemic, because this is a time right now to launch an online business. So our journey has been pretty much us doing the same thing, running events and seminars, until 4 years ago we realized we needed to change before everybody else did. So now we're when we say fortunate, I guess, you know, there's a saying that success is hard work meeting opportunities. The past 4 years, we worked really hard on the online platform, and people are asking, why are you not running more events and seminars? The online platform, you know, no one cares until today. Now everybody's online. We are online right now.
Yes,
you know,
that is true.
So that's pretty much our journey.
Vincent, in life and in business, we the solving problems, they are the best and important skills. How you handle the most extreme circumstance in your business and your life?
How do I handle them?
Yes.
Very good, very good. I think the most important thing to begin with is to accept wholeheartedly that problems happen. I mean, excuse my French, shit happens, right? We have to expect shit to happen. So when problems happen, we've expected it, right? So we have to be in that frame of mind. And then when the problem arrives, or problems when they arrive, the next thing you have to be is to be calm. And I want everybody listening right now to remember these two words. The first word is emotions, and the second word is intelligence. All right, emotions and intelligence. Whenever your emotions go up, your intelligence comes down, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So when problems happen, problems are very emotional stimulants. When people see a problem, what do we normally do? We scream, "Oh shit! Oh my God! You know, why does it happen to me?" We get emotional.
The door,
and what happens? Our
people. Yeah.
Completely, right? It completely disappears. So whatever happens, I want you to remember that every problem has multiple options and solutions. But until you're calm, your intelligence is not going to be here for you to solve these problems. All right. And then once you're calm, then you realize, okay, actually, what are the 3 things that I can do right now to better the situation? All right. Then you start having sort of intelligent thought processes in place. And that's the important thing. But make no mistakes. Sometimes in a business situation, it could be very distressing. I mean, a lot of businesses fail, and people are sailing close to the wind, and they get really stressed. And what do? They start drinking. They start taking drugs. No, in fact, what you need to do, if you can't control your physical symptoms of coping with stress, go to see a doctor. You know, take some medication if you have to calm yourself. Or if you don't believe in that, go to do meditation. And physically and mentally, you need to be prepared for these problems. And that is what separates successful entrepreneurs and the ones who are not. Entrepreneurs who are successful are always prepared to handle these situations. You have to be fit physically, you know?
Yes.
It's no point if you're suffering from illnesses and overweight, and it's a downward spiral, you know? So get fit physically, you reinstall this upward spiral, you know, and you eat well, you eat better, you feel more prepared to deal with the day-to-day issues. So it's a more holistic approach, but the important thing is calm down, all right, and believe that everything is going to be all right.
Perfect. And like business owner, all the time we need to learn skills for negotiation. Tell me some tricks, some tips for us. How you manage to negotiate in your business?
You know, I teach negotiation a lot. It's a very important skill to have. You know, when I teach negotiation, there are many rules that you can follow. I'm going to share with you a few.
Yes, please.
Okay. The first thing is, number one is don't show your need. During a negotiation, just imagine yourself to be a blank piece of paper, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing there. It's what we call a blank slate. Because the moment you feel you really want to win this deal, or maybe you want to negotiate to buy this real estate, and you feel needy, you start talking a lot. And that's when the other person will pick up that you really want this, and that's when they take you down. That's number one. And number two, don't show any fear. You know, fear nothing.
JFK have some kind of nice words about the fears, but I will let you.
Right. Maybe you know it.
But it's better you to tell our community.
Right. Never fear to negotiate, but never negotiate out of fear.
Yes.
Okay.
I love this.
Fantastic, isn't it? I mean, just imagine the presidents were making decisions and negotiations on life and death situations that could involve the lives of millions of people. Okay, so another rule of negotiation is try never to be the first person to name the figure. Try never to be the first person to name the figure. So if, let's say I am the seller of this mobile phone, all right? And you ask me, so how much are you selling this for? If I say, I'm selling it for £500, I've named my figure now.
Mm-hmm.
Then how do I know that you're not willing to give me 550 for it? But because I've named 500, right? Because I've named 500, you're probably more likely to get to pay me less for it.
Yes.
So in a negotiation, the person who names the figure is often the one who might lose. So instead, if you ask me how much am I selling for it, I will ask you, what is your budget? So what are you looking for? How much are you looking to spend? Or if it is maybe a real estate transaction and you are the seller, I would say to you, so you want to sell this property? Yes, I will help you sell this property quickly. What is the minimum price that you could live with? I will try to encourage you to give me the figure, okay? And I'll give you one or two more. Another one that is important is a lot of people think that negotiation, especially when it comes to something of, you know, with the price tag, they start negotiating the numbers, all right? So, for example, if I were to sell you this pen you can actually buy from W.H. Smith or any stationery shop for £1.50. But how am I able to sell this for £10, £50, or £100 for a pen that you can buy from anywhere? Well, the answer to that is you have to attach what we call value to this pen, right? So there's difference between features and the value. The feature of this pen is that it can write, but then all pens write with ink. But what is the value I can deliver to you? Well, the value could be something like, this is the pen that Vincent Wong, the property guru, has been using for the past 10 years to sign contracts worth millions and millions and millions of pounds, all right? And this pen has brought him a lot of good luck. And now he's decided to offer this to somebody who wants to take up his legacy, right? He's only got one pen, so it's only got one. How much would you offer? Start the bid. Now, because I've attached a lot of value to this, which could link to some stories, now it's not even about the price. You know, very often we auction off books. For example, this is my book, all right, Property Entrepreneur, right? We auction it for charity, and people pay £1,000 for the book with my signature and a picture with me. So I've added value to the book, but the retail price is, I think it's £12 or something.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've attached value to this book. Is that it is for a good cause, which is charity, and you get to take a picture of Vincent Wong, and you have the an autograph from the author. So try not to argue about the price, because the price is sometimes irrelevant. Talk about the value. All right, the value is often to create more pleasure, or it takes away pain. All right, so these are the things. It's fascinating when it comes to negotiation. It's such an important skill that even when I was doing my MBA at business school, they never taught me this. It's actually through many, many real estate negotiations that I got to learn this. So that's a very good skill to have.
How can we be a good leader in these times?
During this time.
And today, no, with pandemic or something else, because
Right.
every day change our lives and change our attitude.
Yeah. Well, a leader, that means a leader will need to have followers. There are different types of leaders. There are leaders who try to impose their leadership on other people, saying, "No, I'm the boss. You follow me or you're out." All right. So there are people who will follow these kind of leaders in their day-to-day work, but not in their hearts. Right? They don't really trust or really follow these leaders. The leaders who really want to win the hearts and minds of their employees are the ones who often, they're the ones who show up. Hence the reason why even in my company, my office is empty now, obviously, but when everyone was working, I would turn up. I would be there for them and lead by example. It's not uncommon for people to see me emptying the bin sometimes or taking the rubbish out. Things that they would not expect the CEO of a company to do. But if you lead by example, that's good leadership. And listen to people and don't dismiss people's concerns. But the greatest leadership quality is one in which the leader can identify the strengths and weaknesses of people. Because remember, in business, we're in the business of hiring talent. So a leader doesn't have to be able to do everything. Like, I don't have to know about how to do web design or development, but I know someone who's really, really good at this. I recognize the person's talent, and then put the team together to do for you, to work for you. And you have to be able to motivate the team. And it's often, we talked about hard times in business, and sometimes you walk into the office, something, maybe a product launch has failed. You can see the office's environment, the vibes are so horrible. It's like someone's just died. You walk in, no one's talking. It just looks like a big cloud, big black cloud. The leader should come in, and no matter, even you feel the worst because it's your money, you have to come in to tell everybody that everything is okay. And turn the situation around. And if you are the one who walks into the office deflated and defeated, everybody will be defeated because they all look up to you. So a leader has to lead by example. And you have, even if you feel like crying, come in smiling. That's something that I learned. And it's hard for me as well, because I'm normally quite an emotional person. And when things don't work out, I retreat to my cave like most men do. But you have to come out and talk to everybody and say, look, maybe the project has failed, but we've got a lot more opportunities, and thank you for your efforts. Let's do better. And people will follow you, all the way.
Especially in hard times, if you lead by example and you put your optimism on the table, people come with you on board. Vincent, what kind of habits help you to be where you are today? Talk me about your habits, if it's possible.
Well, I'm not a typical, I know this question, when it's asked, a lot of great leaders will say, I get up at 5 o'clock, the first half an hour I do meditation. And no, I'm just a normal person. I lounge around, I watch YouTube, I eat junk food sometimes. But one thing I do is that I'm just a little bit more consistent with my personal fitness and health. So I would consistently, on a day-to-day basis, make sure that I don't overeat and I eat the right foods. And then occasionally when I binge, it's not a big deal. I mean, you diet for a month and you have 2 big meals, it's not going to kill you, right? Or drink 2 bottles of wine, it's not going to kill you. I tend to be more disciplined when it comes to doing a little bit of something every single day. Just a little bit of something. For example, I will make a point of every day either reading something or watching a video that I can learn something from. And so sometimes it's a small doses of something over a long period of time actually augments your knowledge in a big way. And for me, I guess again, when things don't go your way, I tend to be very calm. Again, when everyone is fretting, I'm the one who tries to be cool and just start looking at solutions. Rather than just beating yourself up about the problems, I start mapping out solutions straight away. What are 10 things? And start evaluating them. Which one can we act upon? And I would take action immediately. Once you've identified that, right, I need to call some people, pick up the phone, right? Don't procrastinate, pick up the phone and speak. Because the more people you speak to, the more chance that you're going to find a solution, get an investor or maybe have a joint venture partner. And this has actually helped me many, many times. I remember just shortly after 2008, in July, August, I remember, business dried up and I was completely lost. I didn't know what else to do. Banks were not lending. I couldn't refinance my properties. I remember I had a yellow those sticky notes. I put it on my computer screen. I remember I had a really old computer. In fact, I had 2. One of them says, do something, right? The other one says, call someone. I had no idea what to do. I had no idea what to call. So I just started going through my phone book. I started talking to every single person. And through that, one person decided to invest £50,000 into my project. Just through talking to people. And that actually got me out of my hole, that situation. And that worked. So be positive, I guess, be positive and be proactive. And so I'm just a little bit more optimistic, I guess, and I take more action and I work a little bit harder, but I wouldn't claim myself to be some sort of supreme human being that I'm so, omnipotent and I'm so superior in other ways. No, I'm just someone who's a little bit more consistent and persistent, I guess.
What will be top 3 skills for an entrepreneur to be successful, in your point?
Okay. Number 1, an entrepreneur needs to be able to sell. So a lot of people have aspirations to build businesses online or offline. Let's say if you were to have an online business, people think that just because you go online straight away, you're going to be instantly successful. But without the selling skills, you're not going to sell anything online or offline. Okay. So if I was to sell this mug that says Vincent with my company logo, I have to be able to sell it to 100 people with my sales pitch, because being able to sell it offline means I know the pitch, I know the sales process, the pain and pleasure that gets people the desire to buy your product. And then I can translate that into a sales letter, which I can publish online and start selling online. Just because you've got a mug online doesn't mean that people will buy from you. So being able to sell online and offline is important. And negotiation and sales are pretty much both 2 of the same thing. Because without being able to sell, you can't really negotiate. Because negotiation is about selling the values, selling the reason why that you need to back off, all right, or compromise. All right. Number 2 skills would be to actually recognize your strengths and weaknesses and build a team that is balanced. So, for example, in my company, John Lee, you probably know who John is.
Yes, yes.
The co-CEO. He's an international speaker. He's a much bigger speaker than I am. He's a superstar. All right, he's full of ideas, very creative. All right, 10 times more creative than I am. But we all know that in business, the implementation is so much more important. All right, so I'm good at implementing things, but I'm not as crazy as he is with the ideas. But some of his ideas, when combined with the right implementation plan, could be a very, very great business opportunity. So recognizing that I'm not everything for everyone in my company, knowing what your skills gaps are, you find the people to fill those gaps. So now with me and John, we're both good at implementing ideas, but we don't have the numbers. So now we have a finance person who's our finance directors, join our board of directors. So when me and John have agreed on a big, great project, we're going to do this, the finance guy will say, hey, the numbers don't stack up. All right. What do you mean? Well, numbers don't lie. Right. But then we look at each other and say, well,
Emotional,
you're right. So now we have a balance.
Emotional, creativity,
right.
and
then we have
yeah.
another person. Right. So this is how a team is built. And then we need to have lots and lots of people. For example, we don't like doing the $10 job paperwork. Then we have a great admin team, sales team. We have a marketing team, and so forth. So leadership is a good skill as an entrepreneur. You don't have to know everything, but you have to know what you lack and what you need to add to your business. So sales, numbers, and the final one, I would say, make sure that your business is truly a business with the right business model. I think a lot of businesses fail because the models are wrong. If you're starting a business wanting to own a cafe, right, then because you love coffee, great. But okay, you open a coffee shop. Is that really a viable business in the sense that it can grow and sustain itself? Because otherwise, you have a family business. You're probably more like a self-employed person.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be making the cappuccino and the espresso. But if you actually have worked out, okay, my plan is to have a national chain of 200 coffee shops like Costa Coffee or Cafe Nero, then you have a business. But in order to do so, is it a viable option? Will people come to me rather than Starbucks? So thinking a business in terms of its scalability and getting the model right is crucial. Otherwise, you're just going to have one coffee shop for the next 30 years. I work with a lot of companies like that. Someone came to me for consultancy. He had a family business of selling security alarms. And they have been employing the same 2-3 people for the past 35 years. It's a family business. And now they're thinking about growing. But why would you have waited 35 years to think about now growing to the next level? Because people are in the comfort zone, or maybe that business in itself is not a scalable business. So getting your business model right.
Or you like entrepreneur, you didn't grow mentally. You are not been ready mental to grow, because your business grow when you're mentally like entrepreneur growing.
Correct. I totally agree with you. It's a big mental game. Because the business entrepreneur has to be the leader. The leader has to be the person who's also growing. You grow with the business. And that's why we're in the marketplace to serve these entrepreneurs by offering them training. Because if you haven't got that business experience and you are trying to run and grow a business, the best thing you can do is to get yourself a mentor, someone who's been there, done that, worn the t-shirt, and learn from this person, not just how you should do something, but how not to do something, because mistakes are very expensive, and I make plenty of them. And that's the reason why people who are mentored by me, as much as they want to do this, I'll tell them, look, if you buy this property, you're going to lose a lot of money. And some people would say, great, they follow my advice. And I've had people, despite the fact that I tell them, don't buy it. What did they do? They bought it, and they came back crying to me and said, I've lost a lot of money, right? So mistakes are expensive, and it really is no better way to learn, to grow fast, is to learn from other people's mistakes. So get yourself a mentor, educate yourself all the time, all right? For example, today, the biggest business opportunity right now is online businesses, because there's the traditional bricks and mortar businesses are not open. You know, I drove to the office to pick up something and to make this call. I found none of the shops, not one single shop is open, right? So the business in the traditional sense is dead. We have to evolve. So right now, the biggest opportunity for businesses is, or any individuals, is to go online, all right? And what's the quickest way to go online is really to package your knowledge and offer it to people and start coaching people. You know, everyone's got skills, knowledge, and expertise in something. So Gabriela, you've been in business for many years. You've got, you know, expertise in business. You can teach people how to do startups, all right? How to for example, if someone has actually been baking for a long time, now the bakery shop is shut. What can you do? You can go online and teach people how to bake and build a community that will pay you money. Right now, e-learning is the biggest opportunity. It's a $300 billion US industry, and it's going to grow to $1 trillion by the end of the decade. So there are lots of opportunities out there. And so right now, if you're thinking, well, what am I going to do now? What's the next step for me? You know, think online. Think about teaching. Create a school, online school for your cooking or for your gardening, for your, you know, business coaching or whatever it is. Yeah.
Why do you think people don't buy so easily online today?
Well, actually, people do. People do buy very easily online, except that a lot of people who are selling online don't know how to sell it properly. It's a misconception to think that just because I have an online shop on Shopify, people will automatically find their way to your shop to buy your jewelry, whatever it is. It's a misconception. You still need to understand the fundamentals in marketing, all right? Making sure, number one, is that you're selling the right thing. So for example, like I say, right now, people are buying information online. Although there's a lot of free information on YouTube, e-learning is a multi-billion-dollar industry and is exploding. People are buying specialized knowledge, right? Things that you can't really get on a free channel like YouTube. So you still need to understand how to get people to follow you and pay you. People don't buy from you because they don't know you exist. That's core marketing. So learning how to market your product online is important, because you need to have the right message. And that's why if you can't even stand in front of a video to do a little presentation to sell your product, is probably going to be very difficult, because research has shown, and evidence and your personal experience perhaps will point to the fact that video presentations are so much more effective than any other media. We all watch videos all the time. We're hardly going to read an ebook on here. We're all watching something that moves and with a sound. So, and that's what we're doing now. Our online business is to help entrepreneurs or coaches or mentors or speakers or anyone who wants to start an online business in e-learning to set up your own business very quickly. And we show you how to market, we show you how to sell. So you still need to know the sales and marketing.
Talking about sales and marketing and online, how can we build our key message? Because many of us, we don't know. This is the reason many years, many entrepreneurs are in startups points for lots of time, because they don't know how to build a key message. From your shoes, how you build key message for your public?
Okay, well, your message is very important, Gabrielle. I can't stress how important it is to get the right message. If your message is good, then people will get it and they will buy from you. So your product is the same, but your message can vary, which is important. The important thing is to learn how to test and measure your message. I'll give you an example. Many years ago, we marketed for a seminar for my property workshop, and so we decided to write an email to send to our database. So your message is pretty much your title, right? Your title.
Yeah.
So we thought, okay, what are we going to teach? What's important in property? Oh yes, negotiation. So let's teach negotiation. So we put a title: How to negotiate property deals in the current property market. All right. So we send an email out. We got 3 registrations. So me and John looked at each other and thought,
What
how come
happened?
there's only 3 people? Right, exactly. What happened? And then we realized, why did people not want to come to this workshop to learn how to negotiate? Then we figured out it's because of the message. The message is about negotiation. People, you know how people are. We all want the cherry. We all want the end results, but we don't want to do the hard work,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
They want the end result, right?
Yeah.
They think, oh, negotiation. Oh, either they think, oh God, I'm not good at negotiation. I don't want to do
I
negotiation.
don't want to do the hard work. Yeah.
Yeah, or some people might think, I already know how to do negotiation. I'm very good at negotiation. I don't need to learn anymore, right? These little voices. So we decided to change the headline. We changed the headline to 52 deals in 52 weeks. So all of a sudden, we had over 200 registrations for people who wanted to learn how to do 52 property deals in 52 weeks, a deal a week, all right? So they registered for my workshop. So they came to my workshop. I say, good morning. Today I'm going to teach you how to do property deals, 1 property deal a week. So first off, there are 3 things you need. Number 1 is you need to know how to finance. Number 2, you need to know how the right location. Number 3, you need to learn how to negotiate. So what do? We teach them negotiation once they're in the room, all right? So we recognize that your message has to give people what they want first, and then you sell them what they need afterwards. All right, give them what they want and sell them what they need. So it's the same thing. You know, they came to my workshop learning how to do 1 property deal a week, which is what they want. But in order to do that, you have to learn negotiation, which is the same workshop.
Yes.
So your message needs to be focused on the end result. So what's the end result for? People ask, what do Well Dragons do? People say, oh, we run events, we run seminars, we do public speaking, we publish books, and you know, and da-da-da. No, our message is we're here to change life. All right, we change people's lives. That's the end result. We give people opportunities. That's the message. For example, now our online platform that we just launched, called Memby. So what is the message? Is that you can turn your passion into profit. All right, it's very simple. Your message needs to be short, snappy, and people can get people's attention. Passion to profit. We all have a passion. You know,
Yes.
What's your passion, Gabriella, apart from music, our business? Do you have a passion in something?
Yes, yes. Human behavior is my specialist and my passion.
Right, human behavior.
Yes.
Right, that's your passion about how people behave, right? So imagine you turn to pay you all online. So you turn your passion into profit. So you can actually teach people who want to learn about human behavior, how you can change, you know, business and lives and environments and so forth, and people will pay you for it. So that's our business message is, you know, for example, another message we say is how to make money from doing what you love. How to make money from doing what you love. And everyone has got some sort of passion. And imagine you can make money from my passion. That means you don't actually have to work. There's a saying that if you're passionate about what you do, you never have to do a day's work for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah.
So your message, as much as possible, will focus on the end result, make it brief, and less is more. And once you've got the message out, you get people's attention, then you have to be able to articulate it and explain to people what is it that you do. in a, you know, in a brief, succinct manner. And that's why learning how to become a public speaker is probably one of the best things you can do. One is that it takes you out of your comfort zone, all right?
Yes.
Two, you increase your confidence. And three, you learn how to deliver messages very powerfully and passionately with authenticity. And that's the reason why we teach people this.
In the first, and my point of view, you associate for your public company image with your image and your voice, and you give voice for your company, and that is important because we buy emotion, and if we don't express our emotion, we don't sell nothing. Vincent, as a
that's also true. That's why, yes.
Yeah, please continue. Continue.
No. I was just saying, as much as now we're in lockdown, there's always a place for human interactions, face to face. I mean,
yes.
There are things that, you know, we can't do while we're online, and that's why eventually we still believe that our seminars and events are going to flourish again. People just want to come out and hug someone, you know, and be with somebody, you know, with a group of people. So watch your space. So when we run our events, I hope that you know, we'll see your fans, you know, coming to see us as well.
Listen, like a business owner, you know when to go to walk away from a sale, because I'm sure you many times happen to see a project very and to feel them like is very important, but something don't mix it. You know when to walk away from a sale.
Walk away from the sale. Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, you're right. Sometimes you do have to walk away from a sale. And the two reasons why I might actually walk away from a sale. The first one is that I don't want to lose this customer, but this customer is being resisted, right? So in negotiation, we have this type of customers called mismatches. Mismatches are ones, if you say, oh, it's hot, they say, no, it's cold. When you say, this is good, they say, no, it's bad. If you say to them, oh, it takes a long time to sell your property in the current market, they'll say, no, it's very quick because I know Jim across the road who sold his property quickly. They always say the opposite, all right? So knowing this sort of pattern of behavior, if you say to them, right, why don't you buy my product? They'll say, no, I don't want to buy your product. So how do you deal with mismatches? You do the opposite. You say, you know what? I think it's best for you not to buy this. I don't think this is for you. What do you think they're going to say? A lot of times they say, no, I think I want this. How you dare
to say me? I'm not. How?
You see what I mean? You turn away a sale. You give them. It's like reverse psychology. You tell a little boy. It's in our nature. A little 5-year-old boy. All right. Let's say you have a hot stove. All right. Is red hot. You say, don't touch this. All right. Don't touch this. What would a little boy do?
Touch.
They touch it. You tell people to do something or not to do something, they do the opposite. So when I want to refuse a sale, I would say, you know what? This is not for you. In fact, I don't even want to take your money. And that's when you can turn it around. Not every time, but you're more likely to. But the more you try to push it, the chances you're not going to get the sale. And the second reason why I might turn away a sale is that I probably know that by having this customer, this person is going to make my life hell. So what do I mean by that? There are basically, from my experience, there are 5 types of customers. You have what I call the A, B, C, D, and E clients. All right. The A and B clients are your best clients. They will buy from you. They'll buy from you over and over again, and they will not complain. They're grateful for you, right? They don't suck up your time. The C clients are the ones who buy from you, but they might contact you with a bit of support, all right? They might need a bit of hand-holding. That's fine, all right? It involves a bit more time, but in time, this C client hopefully will become a B client or even an A client. A D client is someone who has bought your product, maybe make a complaint, all right? Or not being pleasant. But sometimes you can turn the D client around by investing even more time with them. And sometimes, from our experience, a D client can become an A client. Someone who's really unhappy, you just turn that person into an A client because you serve them, you help them, and their opinion of you changes. So you can actually turn that person around. But E clients are you still there, by the way? Your
Yes,
image
yes,
is frozen.
yes. I'm still here. I'm still here.
I think I'm losing you slightly.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Now we are again. Yeah, I see
Oh,
you.
you're back.
Yeah.
Your voice is back, but okay, you're moving it, right?
Yeah.
So where was I? Right. So A, B, C, and D clients, but E clients, E are the ones they will spend money with you once, but they think that you owe them their lives. They will complain. They will just say even bad things about you. They will badmouth you, and they constantly give you trouble. These are the people that you absolutely have to tell them to go somewhere else and get out of your life. They're what we call bloodsuckers. So, so get the E clients out of your life. The D clients potentially can turn them into A clients by spending time with them a little bit, invest a little bit of time. But my A and B clients are the best always.
Everyone have very difficult times, many times in business lives. How do you push yourself through worse times? Because I'm sure in these 20 years you have many of times like that.
Yeah. I'll say this. Hard times are plentiful. And what gets you through these times when you should be taking drugs or should be considering writing a suicide note is the reason why you need to stay alive and do better. Your reason why, what got you started in the first place, is going to get you to finish the race. Maybe you start a business because I started a business because I wanted to become successful in my own right. I'm an immigrant myself. Even I was born in England. I grew up until I was 12 years old. So I came back to England, didn't really speak English, and it was a complete new environment for me. And being Chinese, you never. Oh, there you are. You're back.
I'm here. My internet connection let me down. Okay. My internet connection let me down.
That's fine. I probably lost.
Yeah.
I was probably talking to myself for about 2 minutes. So where did we go?
The question was
saying,
yes.
Yeah,
about
if you repeat the question.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. What gets you through the tough times is your reason why.
Yes.
Why you started in the first place. When I was down, I remember a lot of people kicked me in my belly. It's like a dog being kicked and you roll over, you want to die. And you remember those times when people look down on you, kick you, say worse things about you to injure you. And those became my reasons, my why, my fuel for me to get up no matter how tired I am and how bad things are, to continue doing better. And so I have my reasons. Another reason would be, I know it is personal, but it is to prove to my father, even at my age, to prove to my father that I'm worthwhile. I think a lot of people listening to this probably have that kind of incentive. Is if you have been told that you're no good, you're rubbish, you're shit, you have a point to prove, that becomes my mission. So you all have to have a strong, burning desire to continue to be successful. The problem with those people who want to be successful, but they don't have enough desire to do so, they kind of just want it. It's like, oh, I want to be rich, but they don't do jack for that to happen. right? They just talk, right?
Yeah.
Or I want to drive that Ferrari or Lamborghini, but you don't do the things that would get you that reward. Or I want to do charity and change lives, but you can't even look after yourself. So find out, what is your why that really gets you fired up? That's your passion. It's like now I'm talking, you can tell, I have that fire, and you need to get that fire going every single day.
What is unique about yourself and your business?
Unique?
Yes. About yourself and your Wealth Dragons.
Well, Dragons, for a start, we're very unique because we have a platform that builds our network. There's a saying that your network is your net worth. So every time we run an event with 1,000 people, we have 10,000 registrations. And that means we've got 9,000 potential clients that we can nurture and remarket to. So we're in a business of building a big network that will allow us to launch our businesses. And the second unique thing is our online business that actually helps people become business owners online. So I can tell you a little bit about this business. It's called Membby, MEMBBY. So for a lot of people who want to start a business is very difficult, from scratch. But everybody can package the knowledge, the skills, or what they know, what they're passionate about into some sort of teaching, right? If you are good at cooking, I'm bound to have people who want to follow me to learn how to cook. They follow me because they want to follow me. I know there's a lot of cookery stuff on YouTube for free, but people will follow me and they will pay me money for it. And imagine if you have this business that you can set up within minutes, and you can start publishing your content online and you start marketing your business to a lot of people. Imagine you have 1,000 people paying you just £10 for $10 a month. And that's 10 grand a month, passive, just by interacting with your community. So building an online community, your own tribe, that pays you a small, affordable, recurring income is a very, very powerful business model. And this is what Well Dragons has actually created, Membby, to help people who want to start an online business right now. The people who right now on furlough, they are not even sure whether they have a job to go back to. Yeah. Start thinking about your own business now. Start thinking about teaching other people what you know, having your own school. And this is what we do. So eventually when our events happen again, we use our events to promote this platform to recruit more people. So that's what's unique about Well Dragons, is that we help people and give people opportunities in business and in life.
Working with many entrepreneurs, I ask them many times, and then point, what are their responsibilities? In your point of view, like business owner, what is your responsibility?
Oh, wow.
We have many definitions of responsibilities.
Okay, well, at our level, I have the biggest responsibility is with our shareholders. Our shareholders are hundreds of people who have invested in our company, are part owners of this company. So being the chief executive, it's my job and John Lee's job and our board of directors to deliver value to these investors to maximize the value of their shares. So if you invested in our company at an early stage, your share value should see as an increase over time. And that's my biggest responsibility. But when it comes to employees, yes, of course, they work for us. We have a responsibility to make sure that they have an environment in which they can thrive. People just don't want to do a job. And in fact, we don't want to hire employees. We want to hire people who want to have a career with us. They feel that there's a sense of progress and growth. So it's our responsibility to create that sort of work environment for them. We have a responsibility for our customers who have actually procured things from us and bought from us. We want to make sure that they are continuing to enjoy our products and services and to be happy. you know, responsibilities are plenty. These days, we also want to talk about responsibilities for in a sort of ethical perspective. Well, we're not actually producing anything physical, so we don't have any environmental concerns, but a lot of businesses need to start thinking about the environmental impact on the society, because people are becoming more and more conscious of the environment. You have a 16-year-old, you know, campaigning around the world, you know, for, you know, global warming, and an ethical business tends to do better in the long run. And I think a lot of big American brands and global brands are already taking that stance to be responsible environmentally. So these are the things that business owners have to think about all the time. But of course, for most of us who are starting out, our responsibility is for ourselves, because if you don't make an income, you don't eat. That's the difference between an entrepreneur and someone who works, is that entrepreneurs get paid by results. So make sure you pay yourself first. That's another thing that I learned, is that while you have creditors, you've got people to deliver things to, make sure that you're looked after. The good thing is, all we need is just a roof over our head and a warm bed and food on the table. My father said to me once, as long as you're breathing, you have a chance in business.
That is very, very true. Vincent, this interview is full of wisdom, but I will try to go to the end of our interview with the last two questions. What is your one piece of advice for someone out, or what it is a start point, or it's established, but it's very struggle? One piece of advice for somebody from outside.
So a business is established.
Yeah.
A business is established but struggling. What advice would I give this business? Okay. So I would say the first thing is to establish a reason why the business is struggling. It's mostly because of lack of cash flow. All right. If a business is not well capitalized, then it will not last. So the first thing is to cut costs. And I know it's a very painful exercise, but the expenses walk on two legs. They are just going to ruin your company. And don't throw good money after bad, because if your business model is dead, for example, if your business is publishing magazines, right?
Yeah.
You know that it's a dying breed. Nobody buys magazines anymore. Everyone reads online. And you keep trying to pump money into your business and trying to keep it alive. This is what we call throwing good money after bad. Don't do it. Shut your operation if you have to. Think about from this business, what can you do to apply to another business that is in the right opportunity? And let me share with you a very quick story. When I started in property, you know, good 18, 20 years ago, I didn't have money to buy property. And in fact, after my MBA, I started an online business. It was an online dating website called Wham Bamboo. I still have lots of newspaper cuttings. We were quite big at the time, wanting to do matchmaking. And I did everything online. So I was probably one of the very first people during the first era of the .com boom to be able to capture people's information and details, and men seeking women, location, height, weight, interests, hobbies, and so forth. So I was quite good at that, except that the business model failed because at the time people were not prepared, were not ready for this. So I shut down the business, lost quite a lot of money. I was very depressed. But then I realized I could use the same skills in property, because when I got into property, I realized one of the biggest opportunities was to find people who needed to sell the properties quickly. And a lot of people, instead of going to estate agents, they want to sell privately to cash investors. So I took everything I learned from my online dating, which failed, and applied that, pretty much the same process, finding people, property sellers who want to sell the properties quickly. And overnight, I capture lots and lots of leads. By the way, Gabriella, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, right, because your image just stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, so overnight, I got lots and hundreds of sellers putting their details in to say, contact me if you want to buy my property. And I became the UK's biggest lead seller, helping other property investors buy discounted properties. And they were all buying leads and deals from me. And that's what got me started. So what you failed in one thing, you need to shut that thing down before it drains any more money and transfer the skills you got from that to another sector that is massively growing. All right. So right now, if you are have a coaching business, but your coaching clients don't want to see you or they don't want to work with you, or if you're a personal trainer in a gym, so now what you can do is to take that knowledge that you have and put it online. Right? So take that skills and use another medium or target another audience. You can create an online class. You can do online coaching. You can create e-learning courses. And so never ever give up. Just because you failed in one thing doesn't mean you won't succeed in another.
And the last question: if you have the chance to travel time back to meet yourself many years ago, I don't know, 20 years ago, when you start entrepreneurial journey, what will be your advice for yourself? What you like to tell yourself?
Goodness. So 20 years ago, I know exactly how old I was.
You are very young. You are very young, Vincent.
No. I'm quite middle-aged. 20 years ago, I would probably say to myself, that was a time when I went to business school. I wanted to get more qualifications, and I believed that I wanted to get a better job and to climb a career ladder. I believe that success will come from working for somebody. I'll probably say to myself, you know what, start a business sooner and be serious about it, because I didn't know what to do. So I would probably focus on more skill development than getting more textbook knowledge or certificates. I would learn how to communicate better with people, or learn how to sell. I will probably find something to sell, and that would be important. And I would probably say to myself that stop listening to other people, because a lot of people would tell you you can't do something or you shouldn't do something, and they'll put you down. Yeah, and they do that just to highlight their own lack of ambition or their own failings. Because if you succeed, you're basically telling them that they suck. So I would tell myself to focus on me and stop listening to people, or live on other people's agendas or in other people's shadows. I would probably tell myself that it's okay to fail, so go and make some mistakes. Probably tell myself also to stay away from materialistic things. And I was quite materialistic when I was 20 years ago. You know, those things don't buy you anything. You could dress like $1 billion, except that you're not, right? Just maybe have my feet on the ground and to start my self-development journey sooner. And I have to credit that to John. When I met him, 12, 13 years ago, that's when he got me started on my own personal development. And that's why among the businesses that I have built, Wild Dragons is the one that I'm most passionate about, because I personally have benefited from embarking on that journey of learning from some amazing mentors. I remember one workshop I went to in Phuket, learning how to become a world-class speaker actually took me from here to here, completely different level. So I started embracing the idea of learning from people and paying for my education. I think people would pay for a pair of Nike trainers and pay hundreds of pounds for it, but when it comes to investing in their own knowledge, you think, oh, I don't know. I will learn it from YouTube. No, there are things you cannot learn from YouTube. Do invest in yourself, and I would invest more money on self-education rather than formal education. So right now, if you're thinking of, I'm not saying that you shouldn't finish your degree or whatever you're doing, but that is not, if business is your outcome, you cannot study to become an entrepreneur. The only way to become a successful entrepreneur is to be one.
And learn day by
learn
day.
about business.
Learn day by
Every day.
day, every day, every
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
I know
And don't forget
I know I say was the last question, but I want to ask you about Wealth Dragons. What is new?
I'm not going anywhere.
What is new? What you prepared new? What kind of project in what kind of project you work now?
Okay, so right now, if you have some knowledge, or if you're a speaker, trainer, coach, a teacher, you're teaching whatever topics you're already teaching, and you've got clients, and now you're no longer able to do that because of the COVID-19, I've got good news for you. Because we've spent the last 3.5 years and invested £4 million invested in this platform called Memby. Go to www.memby.com. This platform will allow you to create your own personal e-learning platform that you can publish your content and create your own school, teaching people how to do, whether it is martial arts, music, cooking, gardening, or whatever it is. And people can buy your courses. You can create that pretty much within 10 minutes. Your online business will be ready. And so this is the coolest thing we do, because right now, a lot of people are thinking of starting an online business. And we have a lot of training materials as well. We show you how to turn your ideas into a knowledge-based product. We teach you how to market. We teach you how to speak in front of the camera using maybe a little gadget like this, which is a LED light. How to promote your product, for example. So all these things are on this platform. We have a 14-day free trial, so you can go to memby.com. And for a lot of you who are who want to know more about this online e-learning opportunity, by the way, e-learning right now is worth $300 billion US. All right, it's doubling. I've got a gift for you. So is it okay to give your followers, your fans
Yes,
a
please.
Gift?
Yes,
Okay.
please. Well, I would be more than willing.
Okay, so I've prepared. In fact, my business partner John Lee has prepared a 4-part series, a course with 4 videos showing you how to discover your talents, your passion, and turn them into a product. That's the first thing. And secondly, to show you how to create videos and how to publish your content online. Number 3 is how you can actually market that to your audience. And finally, how to take money, how to get money from these clients into your bank account. So our Memby platform actually has online merchant integrated, so you don't even have to worry about anything. And so I'll give you a link. So I want you to write it down right now. You've got a pen and a piece of paper, everybody. I want you to write down www.bit.ly, which is LY, /Vincent Course, right? Vincent spells VINCENT and course, COURSE. So it's www.bit./Vincent Course. You can download it for free. Normally we set it for $297, but we're going to, this is a gift. Then you learn how to create an online business pretty much straight away.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for your opening and sharing your wisdom with our brainstorm community. And I wish you good luck in this year with this new situation. But I'm sure you will manage because you've been there many times. And like entrepreneur, we are in mini crisis all the time. Take care.
Thank you so much, Gabriela. All the best to you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.